Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendour hung aloft the night, and watching, with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient sleepless eremites, the moving waters at their priest-like task of pure ablution round earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors. No, yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel for ever its soft fall and swell, awake for ever in a sweet unrest, still, still to hear her tender taken breath, and so live for ever, or else swoon to death. In this poem, the persona addresses the bright star above and praises its constancy. However, he states that he wouldn't want to be so aloof and so apart from the world, in spite of the fact that it can look over majestic seas and mountains. What he wants is to be lying on his lover's chest, hearing her breathing and desiring her physically. In the final couplet, there is a suggestion that, without his loved one, he would end up dying. Keats uses the Shakespearean sonnet form in this poem, predominantly iambic pentameter, the moving waters at their priest-like task. Sonnets are typically used to explore feelings of love and to immortalize the loved one. By using this form, the persona is showing his loved one the utmost respect and devotion. However, the poem occasionally makes alterations to the iambic meter, notably at the beginning with two spondees, two stressed syllables, bright star, before reverting to iambic, would I were steadfast as thou art. This emphasizes the loftiness of what he is addressing. It is not some random mere mortal, but a bright star miles and miles above us all within the galaxy. Within line 2, there is another disruption to the expected iambic meter with the trochee within the first beat, not in lone splendour hung aloft the night. Of course, not in lone splendour hung would sound ridiculous. This trochee accentuates the unexpected negative and shows how strongly the persona feels about being so far removed from love and human warmth. The persona may not want to be so far apart and may not want to be looking down on earth with eternal lids apart. But there remains a sense of awe at the star's permanence and the scope of its gaze. The persona reveres the star's aloof, devoted spirituality. Religious imagery continues within the second quatrain with the references to the priest-like movement of the tides and the pure ablution round earth's human shores, the cleansing which the tides fulfill every night. The star is certainly in a fabulous position to witness the glories of the natural world from afar. The hyphenated adjective soft fallen emphasizes the delicacy of the snow and the tenderness of nature's activities. Note the lovely murmuring alliterative sounds of mask, mountains and moors, implying the harmony and unity of nature as viewed from the star up in the sky. Line 2 started with a negative construction and a trochee, not in lone splendour. And in a similar way, line 9 has the emphatic trochee no, followed by the caesura to usher in the volta and the change in focus from the star's perspective to his own desires. Yes, he wants to be steadfast and unchangeable like the star, but my God, he doesn't want that appalling distance and hermit-like existence. Another trochee kicks off line 10, pillowed upon my fair love, and this emphasizes his certainty at wanting to be snuggled close to his lover and on an intimate part of her body. The persona's feelings for his loved one are such that he wants the impossible and to pick and choose another facet of the star's qualities, its ability to endure for eternity. He wants to feel forever his loved one's soft fall and swell, and to be awake forever with her. The persona desires to be awake forever in a sweet unrest, and this oxymoron is interesting. On one level, it suggests that he doesn't want to lose a second of wakeful intimacy by sleeping or resting. However, unrest can also refer to feelings of unease. Keats died at the very young age of 25 and suffered from tuberculosis, for which there was no cure at the time. Might his desire to be awake forever and to experience sexual ecstasy be tinged with sadness, that actually his time on earth would be unlikely to be particularly long and fulfilling? The final rhyming couplet certainly seems somewhat morbid, with the coupling of breath and death. Without being able to hear and be close to his loved one, something so precious and intense that it feels like living forever, his senses would revolt and self-destruct, causing his death. Time now to plan topic sentences and juicy quotations, which could be weaved into an outstanding essay. Make some specific points about the way the poem presents a passionate relationship, and find some quotations which not only back up your points, but lend themselves to detailed AO2 analysis. Get started. Yes, it's pause time. So I might start a main paragraph by suggesting that the persona loves his loved one so passionately that he implicitly rejects the glories of the natural world in favour of intimacy. I would back this up by referring to the beautiful description of the soft fallen mask of snow before quoting the emphatic negative of the following line, no, followed by the caesura. Another point could be that the persona's passionate feelings are shown in his unquenchable desire for physical affection. Where possible, use interesting, lively words within your topic sentences. Show off not just how well you know the poem, but how well you can write. I would use the quotation which begins with that very distinctive past participle, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast. My final point would be that the persona is so passionate that he feels that life without his loved one would not be worth living. I would then explore the final line, which offers one of two extremes, either living ever or swooning to death. In my paragraph, I write, in Bright Star, the persona loves his loved one so passionately that he implicitly rejects the glories of the natural world in favour of intimacy. In the first part of the poem, he references a star's ability to gaze upon wondrous beauties of the earth, including the soft fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors, no. The murmuring, alliterative M sounds create a wonderfully calm and peaceful effect, whilst the use of the metaphor mask implies that natural vibrancy lies beneath the crisp mountain covering snow. Nonetheless, the switch from I ams to a trochee in the beginning of line 9 emphatically rejects the passivity of merely being able to view such natural glories. No! And ushers in a loving description of his loved one breathing by his sides.